if you ask a lot of people who've gone through the PhD thing and then end up in management, they would say, well, you trained me in my analytical capability, the question, and so on. That is true, but it is very generic. You can go through a lot of other routes to gain that analytical degree. For me, being in where I was very, very lucky to be working with, both I was in physics at Caltech, and when I was in neurobiology in Caltech, I was working with people who's pushing the state-of-the-art of their research. Through that observation of just how people handle question, what's the scope of the problem that they handle, that they want to ask, give me one major psychological insight that I think a lot of my counterparts do not have. It is the courage to face uncertainty. Okay, a lot of people are just not comfortable when you are actually at the edge. When you have a business plan, they say, okay, how do you define your market? What's your objective? How many points of market share in year 2 of your business plan you can achieve? The answer, if you're a good entrepreneur, say if you really can segment that market that well and predict in 2 years what your market share, it's not worth going. The big gun's already going at it, right? So the only way you can have a chance to succeed is to go for area where it cannot be defined, actually being segmented. And a lot of people are just not comfortable with that. But in your pursuit of really good scientific research, that is exactly where you want to go. And another thing is, the flip side of that is you're not afraid of failing and then having to restart, right? I mean, that comes hand in hand. But you cannot get locked in too long. And that is really where another aspect of the brutal intellectual honesty come in. Another aspect of that, other than just applying it at the staff level, is at the executive level, is you want to invoke, when you are in territory like that, you need the courage. And how do you derive the courage? So you derive the courage by having a passion. Passion is derived from a vision, right? And vision, the good visions are that you are ahead of the game. Those are the good visions, right? And that means you could be dead wrong. A lot of people, the problem they have is because they need that courage, they have to they psych themselves up, so to speak, right? And so when you work on something that people don't see, and then you wake up in the morning, I have gone through many times, I drive to work, I don't know whether I'm visionary or the grandest delusionist in the Silicon Valley, right? And I fluctuate within a month several times, depending on that ASIC working or not, and the people who are willing to deliver software and so my point is the whole scientific training of pursuit of truth, and let truth dictate it, and not afraid if you look at the wrong answer to go back and find another one, and that brutality you apply to yourself to be totally driven by intellectual integrity. If you are wrong, after 2.5 years of digging down and getting the product, say, sorry, go back, rather than waste another 2.5 years by justifying to yourself because you're not ready to give up the previous investment.